I'm Mark Seifter.
And I'm Linda Zayas Palmer.
And this is Arcane Mark. Hello everyone, and welcome to Build a Deity Workshop 3, Revenge of Build a Deity Workshop, when we will be building a deity. Again, to join up with Círdan Gorland, the pumpkin god of the harvest, and the named different in different regions Artivent / Ratata / Hirano, the squirrel god of distractions, and the longest night.
Squirrel god titles, Squirrel God, Storm of Serendipity, and Shiny Fire.
That's right. So, what will our third deity be? Will it be another one that's sort of a season like the autumn and winter deities that came before? Will it be a mishmash of two concepts that both got about an equal amount of votes, like the Squirrel God was, or just a clear winner, like Círdan? To find out, we have to keep doing things, which we are going to start right now. So, everyone, give us your concepts for deities before we start voting.
Yes, please. Fill the chat with deity concepts. And I will get ready to get your wonderful ideas down here.
Among those concepts,
we have gods and magic now, which means that we can, which means that there's a few more things we can specify in our deities based on.
Let's see. We have Iruxi, god of magic. We have Demon Lord of gaps and lost objects.
God of new, albeit impractical ideas.
New impractical ideas, which we know is the giraffe cannon god.
I wondered how long it was going to take for the giraffe cannon god to appear.
Ascended tiefling deity from Dark Swordsman.
A lot of cool concepts.
And Wither King had an enlightenment deity from before. Let's see. Rexaliquid has goblin goddess of spring.
Eltro seconded the novel ideas gods. Kitsune Warlock says an aquatic creature who nibbled a bit of the Starstone before Eridan found it. Joe Junger says god of beer and cider. McFatson says goddess of fertility, but she makes life out of other living creatures.
Is there a rule of being the deity of atheists?
And Wither King...
Oh, it's enlightenment and glory in all caps.
Yes. God Odyssean of enlightenment and glory.
That's right. I forgot. How could I forget glory?
Don't forget the glory, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you in it if you're not in it for the glory?
The chaotic neutral god of copyright infringement, whose heralds are mysterious creatures with face, tentacles, or floating heads with a single eye who nobody has seen before.
Asura god of fake gods that people still worship. Wow, there's a ton of ideas here today. I think it's not even everybody wanting something different. It's people suggesting multiple ideas.
That's part of it.
That's true.
Yeah. I think Kitsune Warlock suggested 3 things. That's a good example.
Yes.
God of copyright infringement. There you go. Watka. Okay.
The god of tilting at windmills and dreaming impossible dreams.
How quixotic.
God of art, but expressed exclusively in battle. God of bodyguarding.
Mm-hmm.
Does Edwir's god have the trade dress alternate subdomain as Kitsune Warlock? And Rexaliquid says rain or duty.
Edwir's god definitely has a granted intercession called cease and desist.
Mm-hmm. What's the holy symbol in Apple?
For what?
Copyright infringement?
Possibly.
It
was going to be an apple, but that was copyrighted, so it's just like this blank.
Leshy god of death for the necromancer Leshies, says Dark Swordsman.
There you go. Leshy god of death. True neutral god of atheists who has never revealed himself is honestly just curious to see what's going on. Rexaliquid says rain/duty.
God of fireworks and gunpowder from David.
Okay. Leshy god of death has alcohol as an area.
All right. So we got a lot of ideas.
So let's put the cutoff here, unless you just completely had one and you were typing it up and then okay. But At this point, let's see. How many do we have, Linda? Let me see which ones.
Harder to read here. I didn't write those down yet.
But I thought you wrote them all down.
No, I was
didn't
watching.
Write any of them down. Okay.
All right, but it'll be easier to get them on there since the scroll is a little better. So we have the. Please scroll up.
Okay. So let's see.
All right. So
we have Iruxi, God of Magic. We have Demon Lord of Gaps and Lost Objects. We have Giraffe Cannon, God of New, albeit impractical ideas and possibly new beginnings.
You have Gaps and what?
Gaps and Lost Objects. The Giraffe Cannon, God of New, albeit impractical ideas, possibly spring and new beginnings as well. The Ascended Tiefling Deity.
Impractical ideas, possibly spring and new beginnings.
The Ascended Tiefling.
We've got the Ascended Tiefling.
We've got the Goblin Goddess of Spring. A second for the novel ideas. We've got Aquatic Creature Who Nibbled the Starstone. Which actually, that doesn't seem like it's fully a deity yet. That's just sort of... I guess it's an origin story, at the very least. Goblin Goddess of Spring, technically. God of Beer and Cider.
Goddess of Spring. Aquatic God who nibbled the Starstone. What's after the aquatic god?
The God of Beer and Cider.
God of Beer and Cider.
Then there's Fertility, but via making new life out of other living creatures, like the Mad Scientist Fertility Goddess.
Other living creatures.
Then the Atheist God. And then
Atheist
God. God of Enlightenment and Glory.
God of Enlightenment and Glory. I'll believe that was in all caps.
God of Copyright Infringement.
God of Copyright Infringement.
God of Fake Gods.
God of Fake Gods.
God of Don Quixote.
God of Don Quixote.
God of Art exclusively in battle.
God of Art in battle. God
of Bodyguarding.
God of...
This is too many, Linda. We need to cut some of these out.
Yeah, we do. I just hit my character limit.
Yep. Did that actually post?
Yes. God of Bodyguarding was the last one?
Yeah, God of Bodyguarding. Let's see. Leshy, God of Death. And God of Fireworks and Gunpowder. And then we've got it. Then the last one that's not on the list is a Goddess of Lust for Rare and Exotic Sweets. But they know it's not on the list because it was afterwards. Okay.
All right. So we clearly need to narrow this 17 down.
Yes. Probably before we do a vote.
Yes. So let's see.
I mean, we could do a vote with 17 options, but it just feels overwhelming.
We could do a vote and then for which options get to survive to the next vote.
We could decide. We could have some debates among these 17 deities that are decided based on an arcane set of criteria. There are 17 people watching.
Oh goodness.
Oh goodness.
Yes. Survivor deity style. All right.
All right. Here's how we'll do this. In the next 2 minutes, everyone pick. In the next 2 minutes, everyone who wants to put up to 2 deities in there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if any deities don't get named.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll move to the next round.
Yes,
so,
sounds good.
You have 2 minutes to name up to 2 of those 17 deities. And you can use numbers like Elf Tarot did.
Well, I used the numbers because I thought it would be hard to do
It's
otherwise.
way easier to use the numbers. Let's see. We have early votes for 3, 5, 6, 4, 16, 2, 16.
5 and 16.
Yeah. 16 is really doing well in this.
And
But we know that this is a preliminary just to see who gets eliminated. There's 3, 11, 3.
3 and 16. So far it looks like 3, 5, and 16 are the ones with multiple votes.
But that doesn't matter because we told people that what this is to determine what's not going to be in here.
Mm-hmm.
Wither King, we haven't gotten it quite yet.
Wither King, we got 11. We got 17 ideas, so we're narrowing it down.
All right, we got 5 and 14. Just see the list of 17. Pick up to 2.
Please refer to them by their numbers.
Use your numbers, although we also have some that are not their numbers.
Well, we can figure it out.
Yeah, and Zathos got 13 and 14.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And we still have a little bit of time, but not very much. And time. So, who did not make the viability threshold? All
right.
Let's see. So, number 1, the Aruxi God of Magic, did not make the viability threshold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all made the viability threshold. 7, the Beer and Cider did not make it. Let's see. 8 made it. 9 did not.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and do you say
6, 8.
6, 8.
9 did not. Let's see. 10 did not. 11 made it. 12 did not. 13 and 14 made it.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like 15 did not, and then 16 super made it, and 17 did not.
All right, so we're down.
Oh wait, no, 17 made it by someone who was voting not by number.
All right.
Okay.
So we have 2, 3. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 11, 13. There we are.
All right. All right. So.
Boop. Let me just pull this into another tab for a moment.
These are your 11 things you can vote for now. We eliminated 6 of them in that round. So now, vote once for your favorite.
Yes.
Hey, we got rid of a third of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good. All right. Wither King, there's not an app to design Pathfinder gods.
We have a 3, an 8, a 5.
2 5s.
3, 8, 5.
2 8s, 2 5s. 1 3, 1 6, 1 4, 1 16.
3 8s, 2 5s.
The
Sorry.
2 8s.
2, 3, 1 3,
3, 2
1 3,
8s,
2 8s, 2
a
5s,
6,
a 6,
4, 16.
6,
Dark Swordsman, there's a list of 17 deities up there.
4.
Oh, some people joined into the stream
16.
after the thing, so let me put these back up, and I will remove the ones that are not allowed to vote for because they lost the viability threshold.
And Wither King said 6.
6. Alright, so.
And then we'll need to pull in the other ones.
Yeah, I'll get them.
Yeah.
They should be able to fit this time because
yes,
of the fact
we took
that
some out.
we took some out. Where are they?
And it looks like you also didn't. Oh yeah, 14 didn't make it.
Yeah, 14 didn't. Wait, 14 someone voted for.
Yeah, so 14 did make it, so 14 should be in there too.
Yeah. 13 and 14, I think, got cut off from my copy paste.
Yep.
Alright, so
There we are.
pick between these deities that I just put in. Alright. So, you got Wither King 6.
Wither
But
King 6.
that was 2 from the same person.
Oh, it was 2 from the same person.
Yes.
Don't vote multiple times, please.
Alright.
1 vote, please. Just 1.
Yeah, so we got another 3.
Yes, I got that one.
Just 1 vote this time.
Alright. Kitsune says 2.
Yep.
Zathos says 13.
Transier, stop reading at 3. This is awesome. Zathos says 13. Stump Monkey and Rico both say 3.
Mm-hmm.
And Dark Swordsman says 16. And Jib says 16. Rex Through changes 16 to 5.
Okay. So it looks like we could do one more runoff with 3, 5, 8, and 16, which are the ones that have 2 votes or more if we want. Or we could do runoff between 3 and 5.
Let's do a runoff between... let's see. Or is there a way to combine 3 and 5? Let's combine 3 and 5. Because 3 was already almost a god, a goddess of spring. And is giraffe, events giraffe practically. So we just say that 3 is a goblin goddess and is definitely of spring.
Alright, a goblin goddess of spring and impractical ideas it is.
So, yes, it's a goblin goddess of... Because goblins would definitely have... giraffe cannon is something a goblin would invent. Right?
Concept is...
So we're combining 3 and 5.
Goblin goddess
which
of
got
spring and impractical ideas.
Because of the fact that they got between them, they got 7 of the 14 or so votes. So 3-5. There we go.
All right, Goblin Goddess of Spring and Impractical Ideas. What is the alignment of our Goblin Goddess of Spring and Impractical Ideas?
Or does Joe vote for 3 minus 5? I'm not sure.
-2.
Yeah, there we go. So here's what we've got. And we're asking about the alignment of the Goblin Goddess. Oh, yeah, combo. Okay. So, is this Goblin Goddess of Spring and Impractical Ideas and Renewal? And I think that the original pitch also from the first person was that it was a more benevolent goblin. Oh, no, it just said Goblin Goddess of Spring. It was my thought about it, which is that we have so many evil goblin deities that it would be cool if it was good aligned or at least less evil than some of the goblin deities. So we've got chaotic neutral, chaotic good, chaotic neutral, or chaotic good. Good, neutral, good.
We're pretty clearly
neutral,
chaotic here.
Neutral. Everyone says, and benevolent was the idea, so I got the right impression from Rex Liquid.
Well, I think what this is telling us is that they would have heal rather than harm, and that makes a lot of sense for a spring.
Yep, and for new ideas.
And for new ideas.
So, they're not going to destroy your ideas.
Yeah.
All right. That's right. David says lawful neutral.
What is it with you and lawful gods anyway, David?
Since they're weird for a goblin. Rico says benevolent,
and weird,
which I think was meant to be chaotic good. Alright. And Elftro says as long as it's a new idea, even if it's for evils, she might reward it because it's creative. Alright, so we are very, very... there is Wither King. Tsukio is awesome. Wither King says there is a lawful good god.
Her name is U.S. Post Office? Or Patent
US
Office.
Patent Office. Ha. There we go. So we have the copyright in there.
Anyway, alright. So what we have neutral, a good, a neutral.
It's very, very even because there's neutral, good, either one, good, neutral, good, neutral, neutral,
good.
Good.
Wow.
Neutral, good, good in a really weird text explaining why voting neutral. Another one that's neutral. So it's like exactly balanced.
Okay.
So let's say that this goddess has 2 aspects. It's too is too close with a lot of votes. So She has two aspects, like how Norgruber has 4 aspects, one of which is the aspects of sort of like renewal and the joy and the joy of progress and creativity, and the other one is sort of like a little bit more of the dark side of like, well, innovations can be used in ways that you don't expect. Wither King says, like Loki, but in reverse. Yeah, like how Loki has sort of the chaotic neutral trickster and the chaotic evil. Oh my gosh, what has he done?
She created one.
Says maybe she literally has 2 faces, one on the front, one on the back. I like this. She
created one of her aspects as a new idea. It was an unintended consequence.
That's possible. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Maybe like even those 2 halves of the same coin. So maybe
the chaotic neutral one was the first one, and then the chaotic good one.
Maybe the chaotic good one was the first one, and the chaotic neutral one was the unintended consequence.
Which one was first, the chaotic good or the chaotic neutral?
And maybe the other one is sort of almost like the Deity's Eidolon, but a Deity's Eidolon has deity level power, like a being that was created and is part of the Deity's power now. Rex Liquid says neutral first, and the good one was the one that came out. Similar to the mayor from Nightmare Before Christmas. Perks at mention of Eidolons. Part of Goblin Rehabilitation. Neutral first, a bit grumpy about the good one, who is super grateful all the time. There we go. So maybe it was just unrestrained innovation, and that like part of that innovation created this like joy of renewal and innovation. Because spring people think of as being good and the end of winter, but it's not necessarily, and so it has both aspects. Which amoeba is first when they split? Yes. That's another thing. Maybe they both think that they both feel that they're like the somewhat the real one, and the other one is their own invention. It's like, I invented you. No, I invented you.
Own invention.
And they both they like their other one who's an invention, but they kind of get annoyed with her. And they're like, this one is too perky, and he's like, yeah, this one's a little bit more into the evil innovations, so you can get a little bit out of control.
And now I'm imagining them having arguments with themselves and the other deities being like, oh, they're having another one of these bats, we better go away.
Their clerics might get into fights with each other.
It's the 2 aspects.
Oh yeah, thanks for worshipping our goddess's invention. Wait, you're worshipping our goddess's invention. Alright, so we figured out our alignment. What alignments other than chaotic neutral and chaotic good are going to be allowed by this deity? I imagine that the chaotic neutral aspect may even allow chaotic evil, perhaps, and that the chaotic good aspect does not allow that. But it's still good, positive channeling chaotic evil of like, wee. The chaotic neutral one, do they allow any non-chaotic alignments? First of all. So it looks like
chaotic good allows neutral good, chaotic neutral allows chaotic evil.
Yep, both Dark Judgment and Joe Junger said that at the same time. But Elftro says no non-chaotic. Alright, but it looks like more people are thinking of allowing the neutral good on the chaotic good one. McFadden is happy that everyone's favorite hardworking mother, Lamastra, can channel positive. I mean, come on, she is all about creating these horrifically monstrous things, right? That's creating new life. Alright, so let's do that.
For deities and PFS, it depends on their
If you worship the chaotic neutral aspect, you can get chaotic evil clerics, and a lot of people have said this, and chaotic good allows neutral good. So we can put those in the parentheses depending on your aspect.
Yes, I have done the worshiper alignments, chaotic neutral aspect,
Alright, so this has always taken a long time in the previous streams, so start thinking of titles, and we need titles and names for both of them.
We're also going to need a holy symbol.
We will, and they may have a variant on the holy symbol.
I like the idea that the holy symbol has some piece that is always part of the symbol, and then every worshiper is expected to build around that core symbol to make their own symbol to show off their creations.
Maybe it's a giraffe cannon. Then we'll have an emoji of her holy symbol.
Is it literally going to be a giraffe cannon, chat?
Also,
exploding thought balloon.
Exploding thought balloon. I think we're gonna know what favorite animal is, if it's possibly a giraffe. All right, so
invention of the spring lock. Nice pun.
Mm-hmm. So we can think about those, but it sometimes take a little while. So we know that it's gonna be healing font.
So what's the deity skill? Craft, almost certainly.
Yeah.
Or crafting?
I feel like crafting is so obvious that you're going to need to pitch something if it's not crafting.
Mm-hmm.
How about the 2 ability scores? Because as of Gods and Magic, we now need 2 ability scores for every deity in case someone takes the deity's background. So I feel like intelligence is one of the ability scores, but
yeah,
I could be convinced about a lot of other things.
Probably.
Maybe dexterity. Maybe, but int is one. I see Fast says charisma. That's
we
a
have
one
int,
too.
Charisma and int. Oh, int and dex.
Yeah.
Charisma and int.
I couldn't decide between charisma and dex, and neither can chat.
Not wisdom. Charisma.
Yeah, definitely not wisdom.
Int and dex for manual crafting. So we agree that not wisdom, it seems like.
Okay, you know what? Maybe,
one has...
Yeah, maybe the good one is charisma and int, and the neutral one is dex and int. But they're both int.
I like this.
She helped work on building the owlbear, says Weather King. Alright. So, now we've got,
what about favorite weapon?
Yeah. Obviously, it's the Numerian Polytool. But that is the weapon that's like a Swiss Army knife of 8 different things that you can pull out.
Improvised weapons?
Fireworks. I don't know, Rex Liquid's point of improvised is a good point of like...
Could you do that?
I guess. We would just have to write a special text in her saying, instead of having a regular favorite weapon, her clerics don't take a penalty with improvised weapons or something. But then it definitely does mean that you're going to have trouble at higher levels when you don't get like striking runes on it. But I think improvised weapons just makes sense. So let's do that.
Would there be a way to put runes on a random improvised weapon?
Nope.
No?
I mean, who's to say what kind of things will come out in the future, but you definitely cannot put runes on a random improvised weapon.
Can you cast magic weapon on improvised weapons, asked Miss Fatson?
I'd have to look at the wording. Probably not, because of the fact that it's just some other thing you're using as a weapon, but perhaps. Depending on the exact wording of it. Alright. People are mentioning things in Pathfinder 1st Edition. There sure were a lot of things on Pathfinder 1st Edition for improvised weapons that if you stack them all, turned them into a monstrosity. But in 2nd Edition, we don't have all of those yet. That's one thing about a mature rule system, is there are a lot of things that are just like, this is a worst option, so let's make a rule to make it better. And then you wind up with 8 different books that do that, and then you take all 8 of them, and then suddenly... that is not what was intended.
Joe mentioned how dog slicers got upgraded. I mean, dog slicers are a legit other choice because they are pretty much the weapon that is things that goblins cobble together into making a blade.
Yeah, dog slicer, like, legitimately could be it also, since goblins crafted that. But improvised weapon is very, very thematic as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kitsune Warlock said Polytool. I actually...
Is that a weapon?
It's a real weapon. It's the one... I laughingly said Polytool. It's Cassandali's favorite weapon. It's like, it's got a little magnifying glass, and it's a weapon.
Rico says, or you could write a new domain spell that boosts improvised weapons.
Yep. That's possible. It would have to have, that would be like a variant one for one of their domains, but yes, you definitely could. McFadden says Dog Slicer is legit. Spread of dog slicers made of different combos of parts. That's pretty cool.
Goblin Polytool. It's just a broken polytool.
Dark Swordsman says we are skipping backwards to Dark Swordsman, which probably means that the improvised weapon was what they were thinking, and that everything else is moving backwards, I guess. Alright, so let's have a quick vote. Improvised weapon, dog slicer, or polytool? Let's see. So we have dog slicer, polytool, improvised weapon, dog slicer, improvised weapon. Okay, it looks like improvised weapon has it. Alright, improvised weapon. We'll do it.
Yep.
No worries. We've got all sorts of things. I'm sure there's some sects who use every kind of thing. So we're going to need 3 deity spells that are not on the divine list. One of which must be first level.
Yes.
Certainly when it comes to a book full of things that are not on the divine list that are first level, you can look no further than Gods and Magic, which has tons of spells that are not on the divine list and are at first levels. For instance, this goddess might have Agitate, the one where you get, I need to do something, and you have to run around or you take mental damage. Potentially. Whereas she would not have Anticipate Peril.
Oh man, no, not protecting, not predicting danger and being carefully prepared for it.
Yeah, no way. Also, temporary tool, where you create a temporary simple tool such as shovel or rope for. Actually, that's it. That's the first level spell, temporary tool.
You create a temporary simple tool into your hands. What did it say after that?
You use it until you're done with it, and then you can't sell it off. Yeah, use it until a minute or until you use it for a single thing, and then it's gone.
So it's a first level spell that just lets you create whatever basic tool you need at any time?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's pretty good. It's in Gods and Magic. Let's see. Are there any higher level than that spells that seem like they would be good from Gods and Magic? Other than that, we can just take any spells that fit this deity's theme that are not on the divine list.
McFesson said Phantom Steed, but it's a construct that looks like whatever you imagine. Mecha Boar.
Mecha Boar.
And consider Warlock said illusory object is so much fun.
Let's see.
And Althro said we need something springy at some point.
Something springy, that's true. Fungal hyphae, that's not springy. But yeah, we definitely need some things that are related to the spring and the renewal aspect of the deity, which some of the domains are going to help, to be honest, but, okay.
Spring Lock Familiar.
Spring Lock Familiar. Remake is a 9th level spell. That's an interesting one, although remaking seems like something they might not do. Also, is remake it's an uncommon spell, so we shouldn't pick it. Let's see. That's a good thought. What other is there? Like a creation spell that's because like that's
favorable review, but it's about your invention, not your show. Clockwork Familiar, something water-based.
Okay, hold on. Creation. You conjure a temporary object from Eldritch Energy. The 4th level spell.
It must be a vegetable matter, such
and
as
then
wood
at
and
5th
paper.
level, it can be mineral. So I think creation makes sense for this deity because you're making these complicated things. And then something springish.
Something like
like
Entangle?
Entangle's a pretty good one, though. I like that. It's very different than the other ones.
Entangle's what level?
Second.
Now?
So let's throw an Entangle for now, for the spring. And if we come up with something better, we will replace it.
So, Creation is core?
Yes. Okay. So is Entangle. Is 4th. Alright. So, we are going to want to look for, alright, so let's talk about...
Considering where I said reverse gravity, we have Summon Plant also, as a suggestion.
Oh, that's fair too. But that's 1st level. So, let's take a look at domains. So, in addition to the domains that you already know about, the ones you might not know are Change, Cold, Decay, Delirium, Dust, Glyph, Lightning, Plague, Repose, Sorrow, Soul, Star, Swarm, Time, Vigil, Void, and Wormkin, which are in Gods and Magic. Of which, like, Change is one that seems like it makes sense for both spring and invention.
Mm-hmm.
The others, maybe not so much.
Time, I was thinking time maybe, but then time was all about like delaying things and stasis and stuff like that, and that's not.
Wither King Lice, this could be both a druidic deity and a goddess of invention and metal.
Goddess of evolution. Oh, Shape Wood is another one too.
Oh, Shape Wood is pretty solid too. So let's see. Chirpy says that lightning could be for the spring storms and like a brainstorm. I could see that.
Chaotic arcane failure.
And it has bottled storms. So, yes, chaotic arcane failure. Here's our AF.
So it could be like
yeah,
lightning and change then.
So, a new thing in Gods of Magic is that some of them have alternate domains as well. So let's get change and lightning should be at least an alternate domain and possibly the full domain. Now let's go look at the actual list of domains from the original book, core book. So there's air, ambition, cities, confidence, creation sound with splash of art and artistic flourish sounds right. Darkness, death, destruction, dreams, duty, earth, family, fate, fire, freedom, healing, indulgence, knowledge, luck, magic, might, moon, nature, nightmares, pain, passion, perfection, protection, secrecy, sun, toil, which is actually from an AP, I think. Travel,
that's
trickery, truth, tyranny, undeath, water, wealth, and zeal.
There's a lot of good choices in here.
Yep. Joe Joker says certain different aspects have different domains. Yes, there should be some overlap, but there should be at least one that is different between the two aspects. So, Delirium is a good idea from Stunt Monkey, which is the one that's about sort of an altered mental state or restlessness. Hyper focus where someone becomes more focused on certain things and ephemeral hazards. I could see Delirium.
Yeah, maybe that's in the maybe that one's in the chaotic neutral one, which is more prone to prone to the obsessions.
Yep, I could see that. And
because they probably both have creation.
They probably both have creation and change. But then what about for spring? Do we have nature because of spring? With vibrant thorns and nature's bounty? Those are both pretty springish abilities.
So is spring part of both of them, or is spring only part of the...
Is spring more of the good one?
Because then that
I think that they both probably involve spring in some way. But the nature may be more in the good one, and the delirium... So, Elftro is saying nature, delirium, creation, change.
We could also put nature, creation, delirium, change, and lightning in the chaotic neutral one. And then have, and then keep nature to the chaotic good one, potentially.
And then having the good one
they both have creation and change,
nature, and, then people are suggesting possibly luck, or freedom, maybe the good one has, because it's like unimpeded stride or word of freedom. Maybe the good one has freedom.
So yeah, the good one could have freedom. So
that could be creation, change, nature, and freedom. And the neutral one is creation, delirium, change, and lightning. Joe says luck gets overused sometimes. I kind of agree. That's part of the reason why I took freedom from the freedom and luck. A lot of them have luck.
Yeah.
And we've used luck a few times. So, I know we've used nature, but we always have this seasonal theme.
Yep.
Dark Swordsman says, what about flooding? Well, that's a good point because of spring flooding. So we could have water as one of the alternate domains because deities can have alternate domains. So alternate domains could be water. It could have luck as an alternate domain, right?
Yeah, so water, luck. How many alternate domains would a deity
They could have up to 4. So let's see. Would passion make sense? Although it's more love or lust rather than being passionate about your work. Dream maybe for like...
Zeal maybe?
Oh yeah, zeal. But zeal's usually like for combat, for zeal for battle.
Oh, zeal for battle, okay.
Whereas Let's see. It could be
confidence, says Rexaliquid.
Could be confidence.
Yeah, I like confidence.
Over a little cocky about things, and maybe dreams.
So Waterlogged dreams and confidence.
Sure.
Our alternate domains.
All right, that's our alternate domains. Perfect.
All right.
Oh, we're getting so much good extra.
So what's our sacred animal?
The giraffe.
Oh, ambition. That's another one.
Yeah, maybe ambition instead of dreams.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do that.
I think our sacred animal is the giraffe.
Is it a giraffe?
Altro says the giraffe is not a horse. It's okay. Yeah. Because giraffes are very different than horses.
That's true.
And they're not different than dogs, too. Even though their sound is kind of like a little barking. Because not only giraffe canon, but also because of the fact
Wither King says giraffe to appease the marks, because Mark clearly wants it to be the giraffe.
Giraffes themselves are a weird creature that could only have been created by such a deity. It's giraffe. It's canon.
Oh, it's canon with two ends. It's a pun.
Yes, that's right.
I love it.
There we go. So our sacred animal.
Where do giraffes live on Galarian?
Probably in Garoon.
Probably in Garoon somewhere.
Is very Africa friendly.
What are our sacred colors for this deity?
What are the sacred colors? What do you think? Green for spring. Rexalic would suggest yellow. 2 people suggested yellow. Like a giraffe.
Mm-hmm.
Gold and green. Green for spring and goblin skin. So there we go. So it's green and some kind of yellow or gold color. Or something like that. Yeah. There's gold and bronze. So let's do green and gold and yellow. Because we've gotten a lot of golds and a lot of yellows.
Green and gold and yellow.
Yes. All right. Great. We're doing well. All right. So we also want some key edicts and anathema. Also, if people want to come up with aphorisms. Like sayings that have a folksy sayings that have a particular meaning. Actually, let's talk about worshippers first because worshippers are a little easier.
Who usually worships this deity?
Yeah, so I would guess like goblins and like sort of eccentric inventors worship this deity.
I could also see druids.
I could see druids for sure. This is someone who inventors and druids could both agree on.
I saw a comment there. I can imagine imagine the giraffe is a little green after getting.
Joe says, "What could possibly go wrong?"
Dark Swordsman says giraffe construct. Well, we're gonna get into the
giraffe construct could be a servitor.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put giraffe construct down.
Or like a cannon golem that shoots giraffes.
Giraffe, sir.
Just do it.
Cannon golem / mecha. Because I also saw mecha earlier.
Yep.
I'll put those down in servitor ideas.
And also we can come up with holidays, aphorisms, edicts, and anathema just together. Occasional gnomes, says Dark Swordsman. With the oh my goodness, destruction as anathema to a goblin deity paradox. So let's see. Yeah, let's do aphorisms, holidays, servitors, any of those things, plus edicts and anathema.
Here we're in a nice situation where we don't have to choose only a small number, so I can just list a lot of stuff that people say.
So let's see.
So gnomes are in there as worshippers as well.
Yep. So what would be important edicts of this deity? I'm sure that like innovate. You know, like.
Well, I could see a slight modification and destruction to make it like senseless destruction. So it's like, because sometimes in order to build new things, you have to take apart other things. But destroying things for randomly.
Senseless destruction would be an anathema. Another anathema would probably be making the perfect the enemy of the good. Just like taking too long to do the things. Just do it, then do another thing. Don't just keep. You see what I'm saying? I think it would be anathema to just keep going and being perfectionist instead of just doing
Sometimes to get out of a predicament, you have to get yourself into a new predicament. I like that as an aphorism.
Don't repeat yourself is another example of that for either an aphorism or maybe for an anathema from Elf Tarot of like, or don't getting stuck in a rut. seems like it would be anathema, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or a drudge, or getting stuck in a drudge or a routine. Stagnation, Dark Swordsman puts it.
Stagnation is a good anathema.
So...
Rory frowning in the distance, says McFadden.
Yep. Definitely Rory would have a problem with this deity. Rex Liquid. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. You don't need the expecting a different result, just... There is no failure, only unexpected success for an aphorism. As an edict is to move forward and try new things. But yeah, I think definitely, like, needlessly destroying things, getting stuck in a rut, and however we phrase them, those two, and then the third one of just taking too long to perfect something instead of just being like, that's fine, let's keep going.
Making the perfect the enemy of good enough, and stagnation.
Yep. That makes sense. That's good.
Oh, giving up as an anathema.
Oh, here's a good aphorism. Fail forward, friend. As a way of cheering them up when their lab blows up for whatever reason.
I like it. Fail forward, friend is added.
Mm-hmm.
Cries in God Claw.
Cries in God Claw.
Have move forward and try new things is an edict.
That's good. I'm liking these. I can definitely get the sense of this deity's followers. So let's talk a little bit back in time to the title or titles of the two aspects and maybe the name.
Maybe we'll put Never Give Up as an edict, because an anathema of giving up, like, sometimes you do still have to be like, okay, this thing isn't working.
Yeah, I think that's probably an edict.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone here loves Fell Forward Friend for the aphorism.
This deity looks at the God Claw and wonders how to literally weld it together.
Elftro says something like the Spring of Ideas.
Oh, for a title. Title, I like it. I'll put that up there. Spring of Ideas.
Yeah, that's good, because it has spring in it, too.
Yes. So we have our goblins, eccentric adventurers, druids, and gnomes as worshippers. Servitors are a giraffe construct, cannon, golem, mecha, and an eclectic...
Let's see.
Collection of other constructed beings. Do they have any, does this god have any servitors that are more on the nature theme, or are they all, like... Or are they all more on the construct vein?
Let's see. Holy symbol of a vine.
Wellspring of Invention is another one. Wood Golem.
Yeah. I was also thinking Wellspring, possibly. If it's similar to Spring of Ideas, it could be another way of...
Spring of Ideas. Well...
We should pick one of those. Either Spring or Wellspring, Invention or Ideas. Let's see. There are other ideas like Wood Golem, Animate, Candelabra. Nature options are too young to serve as servitors for a spring deity. Inevitables with flower pot heads. Clockwork toys. Natural growth. Metal rose, new growth, but prickly spines, maybe dip. The budding branch as a possible name for the deity as a title.
That feels like it would be a title of the good aligned one.
Just not kudzu.
Well, I want to say Graph Hunter, Kennigal, and such mecha in the eclectic color of other constructed beings made from...
Oh, yeah. What about a hybrid mechanical plant like Dark Swordsman was saying? Or maybe even a construct like a weirwood that's like, it's made of plant life, even though it was constructed. It is a plant that's a living plant.
Collection of other made from both living plants and...
Mecha olive branch. Alright, let's see.
And...
Nitrace says heart.
So what kind of holidays would this deity have?
That's true.
We didn't actually do holidays.
Maybe everyone who worships this deity has different holidays because they're like anniversaries of your own great inventions. Quality testing day is one from Kitsune Warlock. Dude, need quality testing. Just send it out. Haha.
Oh yeah, and then you test out each other's inventions. I like it.
That could work.
Quality testing day.
Science fair.
Science fair.
Faithful encouraged to take sick days when it's most fitting. Yeah, just take a day off when you're just getting burned out to rest and come back reborn like the spring.
Yes.
Take the whole winter off.
The green gear.
The green gear, that's cool.
Cool.
Oh wow, 2 people said green gear at almost exactly the same time. That's amazing. The lightning bottle for except for cat neutral because it's bottled lightning and it gets released and has lightning.
So that could be
bottled lightning is one of the lightning domain abilities. So
it could be that the body branch and the lightning bottle are sort of opposing titles used for the 2 aspects.
Mm-hmm.
So Spring of Ideas or Wellspring of Invention? Or Spring of Invention or Wellspring of Ideas? Because those 2 are pretty similar. And
innovation can also be thrown in there.
Yes.
I don't know which one is better.
They all sound
Spring is literally the name of the season, but Wellspring has a really good feel to it as well. Let's see. Rex Liquid says Wellspring. Leap days are holy days. Because you haven't seen it for a while. Yeah, people are saying Wellspring. Alright, cool.
So, Wellspring. So, what do you... Wellspring of New Ideas, Wellspring of Innovation, Wondrous Wellspring.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things around Wellspring popping up.
Birth of Innovation. But birth is too similar to Wellspring.
It could just be Wondrous Wellspring of Innovation. It doesn't have to be a short term.
Wondrous Wellspring of Innovation.
Leshy Science Fair.
Leshy Science Fair. Good Idea Fairy as a servitor. The Good Idea Fairy definitely, comes and, waves a wand that makes a little light bulb appear above your head. Aha!
I'm gonna say Good Idea Fairy parentheses may or may not actually exist because this could be something that, there's sort of a mythology around the festival where it's the Good Idea Fairy might come and bless you. Maybe the Good Idea Fairy is a manifestation of the deity's favor and isn't, an actual creature at all.
Yep, that makes sense. Muses, definitely K-word Jenks. Muses would for sure... Oh, and that could be a title, considering Warlock says. The twin Muses. At the same time that K-word Jenks would say Muses would be a servitor.
Muses.
The Ouroboros of Innovation. That is just something I made up because of the fact they're biting their own tail because they're not sure which one invented the other. Right? Wither King asks, does this deity have a herald? We don't know. Which of these servitors... Which of these servitors seems most like the herald?
We had a lot of servitors.
We have a lot of them. This has the most servitors of any deity. On their holidays, they have feasts where they make strange food, where you make strange food combinations and serve them to your friends.
On holidays, they make strange Combinations of food.
Joe says maybe they're heralds for each other.
Recipe.
Or maybe they each have a herald. Maybe the reason that I'm gonna serious about this. Maybe the reason they have all these servitors is because they kept making a new herald and declaring it as their herald. This is giraffe is my construct's my herald now. Oh wait, no, it's this construct that's made out of actual plants. Oh wait, no, it's this thing. And now they just have all of these like former heralds that are just.
And maybe they can just pick which one they feel like having be their herald that day. They keep making new ones, and sometimes they might go back to the other ones.
Yep. And, consider Warlock is saying they added soy sauce dispensers to their herald. They may also have been one-upping each other's, like, oh yeah, well my herald is this. And so they each have a different herald, and they keep changing their herald.
So I had Giraffe Construct, Cannon Golem / Mecha, an eclectic collection of other constructing beings made from living plants, because there were a lot of ideas that came in there, like
but a lot of
the
these
flower pot
might be just former heralds. And that's, and you don't, who knows what the current herald is going to be. Alright. Each herald is the current great idea until inspiration strikes again. That's exactly what K-word Jenks. That's what
I'll just say herald is subject to change at the end of that.
Yep.
And then the idea is if you use this deity as a GM, you decide what their herald is now, but if the deity sends their herald a few months later in your campaign, it may be something completely
And you could have a plot hook where, like, a former herald wants to, as asking a PC who serves the deity, is like, can you give me some cool, innovative additions so that I can go back and maybe select me as the herald again, because I'm different. Yeah, Wither King, that's the question. What happens to the former heralds? It's like, it's this whole thing where you can, like...
and maybe then there's a sense of competition among them, where they're all, like, following the goddess's way and trying to increase their innovations so that maybe they'll be selected again.
Look, now I have the soy sauce dispenser.
Herald Swarm.
Herald Swarm.
Herald Association Change has sometimes been a swarm of small creations.
Do the former heralds have hurt feelings? Some of them probably do. And some of the heralds of the Kinetic Neutral one might be evil, because the Kinetic Neutral one comes up with all sorts of ideas.
Herald is a Voltron of other heralds. Oh, I imagine that means something like, if there's ever a truly great threat, they could Voltron
all the heralds together. I'm sure there's at least one of the heralds of the Kinetic Neutral one that is, like, bitter and evil and is trying to, like, usurp all of the power of both of them.
Yes.
And is trying to get some of those other former heralds to, like, team up to do that. And that's when they're eventually going to have to make the Voltron to defeat that.
Because they go to the other sister.
Yeah, that's right. But she said I could have 2 candies.
A lantern archon shaped like a light bulb
for the good idea fairy. Yeah, absolutely. It could be. And Risky says incorporeal ideas manifesting like an edited dream. Yes, Carrie Evil Herald wants to ascend to the one true aspect or become a third aspect.
Combination of several Kinetic Neutral heralds out there to reclaim their position.
There's a lot of plot hooks.
Well, I mean, especially because you have the whole idea of like, you know, the perfect is the enemy of good enough. It's like, oh yeah, that's good enough for now. And they're not necessarily going to stop and think a lot this day because they're always looking to create more things. So,
all right,
unintended consequences are definitely.
So I think we have everything we need.
Except we need a name and a holy symbol.
Except the name and the holy symbol, or names.
Names and holy symbol. So what's our holy symbol?
I think there was some idea.
Each aspect does claim they invent the other one. We've got that up at the top.
Yep. We've got that. Warlock says, no avatar stats. Yeah, we're not going to do necessarily avatar stats or intercessions. But
holy symbol of a gear wrapped in vines?
Because I think that avatar stats and intercessions are a little bit too rulesy. I might come up with them later on my own based on your guys' idea for this, but it's not something
you can easily design by committee.
Can quickly workshop. So for the lightning-y one, bottled lightning, possibly. The other is gear wrapped with vines for either the other one or McFatson's could work for both of them potentially.
Yeah.
Because bottled lightning being one of the titles, could also still be it. Vines look like springs, like a vine that's coiled into a spring, like a slinky. Vine shaped like a spring. Oh, we're doing well at the same time as Elftro. So it looks like a vine shaped into a spring. A lot of people.
A tree struck by lightning. So maybe a vine coiled into spring is one of them, and a tree struck by lightning is the other.
Yeah, because 2 people said trees struck by lightning at the same time. Also.
Yeah. Okay. So we have tree struck by lightning and vine coiled into a spring.
And also, when the tree is struck by lightning, the lightning should be coiled into a spring. But it's still lightning striking the tree.
It's tree struck by coiled lightning.
Yeah, take that graphic designer that hypothetically exists and has to draw it. Well,